Troll news. I'm in my kids' room today. Sorry about that. We laid out a new carpet in the living room, so I'm over here in my kids' room. So once again, I'm Matt Fox, and this is totally out of control news coming to you live from Rostock, Germany. Let me see if I can get my thing over here. Maybe I can put it over here. Um, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going down, you guys. It's crazy. As usual, when you're dealing with the Trump administration, you never know what is going to happen. And there it is right there. There you go. So, totally out of control news. Yeah. So, the Trump administration, they had Pete Hegseth over there before Congress doing his thing, and the senators were not trying to hear the bull stuff. You know what I'm saying? This guy goes in there totally unprepared and tries to pull the same kind of stuff that Pam Bondi pulled whenever she was up there before Congress, just spouting off uh, deflections and trying to um be rude and demean the situation that he's sitting in as the head of the Department of Defense. Um, but the thing that he is also doing on the side is he's wiring up Donnie T to put boots on the ground in Iran. Now, this guy does not care about the soldiers that he's trying to put in danger. And because this war was a war that was started without Congress's approval or even acquiescence, yeah, it's a bad move. Iran is totally mountainous. These people have had years to build the infrastructure to have missile systems and all sorts of systems built into the mountainous regions, covering the whole area around Tehran and also around the area where these nuclear facilities were. Now, I'm going to say this just right out front. I'm no big fan of Iran. I am a fan of their Lego videos that they've been making of Trump and Hegseth and Patel because they're funny and the music's kind of good too sometimes. So, but as far as the regime, I can't understand how a regime is willing to just shoot their citizens. But then again, if you think back just a few years when there were protests in Washington, D.C., and Donald Trump was trying to go over there to some church to hold up a Bible, he told General Milley, "Yeah, well, can't we do something? Can't we just like shoot him in the leg or something?" So this is the kind of dude that is in power over in Iran. The same kind of people. That's the same kind of people. They want to shoot him in the leg, right? So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Give me a like and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Yeah. So appreciate your comments though. And him, yeah, I can't say your name, but it's pretty good. Okay, so nevertheless, Donald Trump, he's such a snowflake. He can't handle any kind of anybody saying anything bad about him, or when they say something bad about American policies, he takes it personal, and therefore he wants to do something against those people that say something against maybe any decisions that he's making or his policies. And the other day, the president here in Germany, because I sit in Rostock, Germany, doing this. I'm from LA, and I am a registered Republican, but I don't back no pedophiles. Yeah, I don't back no pedophiles. And for anybody who watches my streams and my podcasts, you guys already know that. So, um, Donald Trump, there's so much evidence against Donald Trump, allegations made against Donald Trump from back in the mid 90s up into 2016 to the last point, right before he paid Stormy Daniels $130,000 of campaign money. Yeah. Um, this dude has always been a piece of shit. He's been a piece of shit all his life. You know what I'm saying? He was paying, or his dad was paying his butlers back then to do his homework for him and stuff like that. Really, guy's really not stupid at all. I mean, really not smart at all. He's talking about he aced IQ tests and this and that. You know, there's no end to the stupidity that comes out of his mouth. Every time he opens his mouth, he should just stick his foot in there because that's apparently what he's doing every single time. So, and he's lying to the American public every freaking day. Every freaking day. So, the leader over here, president in here in Germany, Merz said something. The chancellor, I'm sorry, said something in regards to the war in Iran. Donald Trump didn't like his comment, and therefore he's talking about pulling troops out of Germany. Now, I'm pretty sure that's going to take a congressional approval to do something like that. But he's going to try to do some chicken shit stuff. Why is it that he's always rolling out red carpets for Putin, but when it comes to protecting Ukraine and protecting democracy, he's 100% against it. He's trying to get these dudes to capitulate, give up their land. Why? Is that what he's going to do? If the Russians take over Alaska, is he going to go ahead and give up Alaska and say, oh, well, that used to belong to him? Look, I've 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 been astounded every single day that people continue to take up for Donald Trump. He's trying to put his name on everything. He's trying to put his image on everything. Now we got to freaking get passports with his image in them. I mean, well, it's an option, but still, I mean, the only one that want that is the MAGA cult. So, but nevertheless, Donald Trump is talking about drawing down American forces here in Germany. So, and as I sit here in Germany, I talk to people here and there about the things that are going on in America, and they're really disgusted. They're really disgusted. The tourism has gone down immensely in America. People do not want to come to America. Donald Trump, they had a PGA event at his Doral golf club the other day. Nobody showed up. Nobody showed up. I mean, this guy is he's such a I don't know, man. So everybody in PGA is stepping away. They don't want to go to his golf courses. I'm certain he's losing money left and right in regards to all of his golf courses because he's offended everybody all around the world. And I can't understand why it is that this guy has not figured it out yet. If he did the right thing, if he helped Ukraine win that war against Russia and push back Russia into their borders, I mean, they're hurting for certain already. The Russian economy is doing shitty. Cities are being evacuated because the Ukrainians have been blasting their oil tankers to smithereens, and the oil is in the air, and when it rains the oil comes down on the people's houses, and it is getting pretty bad over there. So Russia's seeing the light. You know what I'm saying? Russia's seeing the light. They know that Vladimir Putin needs to go, and at some point somebody's going to take his ass out. I already know. So um yeah, yeah. um as far as Vladimir Putin is concerned, he had a May Day parade, or he's fixing to have a May Day parade, and he cut that down immensely. You know, all of his weapon systems are being blown up in Ukraine, and he doesn't have that many to put on parade anymore. So therefore, he just rolling some old stuff down the street now. But to get back to the Germany situation, We need some serious leadership in the GOP that can put their foot down and say, enough is enough. And I think it's going to happen. Now, MAGA Mike Johnson, they got this DHS funding bill passed. Yeah, great. It's not a good thing, but nevertheless, some people that were going without pay are going to get their paychecks now. That's probably a good thing, but hopefully they're not the guys that are tearing people's neighborhoods and people's lives apart. So, but nevertheless, now some members of the GOP are calling for Mike Johnson to quit. Mike Johnson has called for another 2 week recess. I mean, these guys are on recess every freaking other month, right? So, but it needs to stop. It needs to stop. And I've called on my Republican colleagues to go ahead and take the loss in the midterms, take the loss, and even more so, all of them that have been backing Trump's bullshit, they need to just resign because these guys are selling out their own families. They're selling out their own relatives. They're selling out their families, their relatives, and everybody else who is supposed to look up to politicians for the things that they do for the country. But these people are selling out the country. And therefore, you're paying more for gas. 430 average now in America. It's going to go up. It's going to go up. Wait till you guys get to $5 a gallon over there. $5 a gallon. It's going to come. It's going to come because the Iranians still have the Straits of Hormuz blocked. That's another thing Trump did. Stupid. He posted some picture with the Strait of Trump. I mean, every day it's something new with this guy. And I can't understand how MAGA is still backing this guy when he said he was going to be the peace president. He was going to stop the war in Ukraine in 24 hours, this and that. He's made all sorts of claims that he's a peace president, but yet he's starting wars. He's bombing Venezuelan boats in the water. He's kidnapping the leader of Venezuela. And who knows what's coming next. They're still talking about Greenland behind closed doors. I don't understand that. But nevertheless, this guy needs to be stopped. So, as I said, Pete Hegseth is trying to talk Donald Trump into putting boots on the ground in Iran. This would be a very, very bad move. Every general who's made statements on this subject have said that would be a very, very bad move. So, besides that, he was before Congress the other day, testifying before Congress, and this guy exposed just how stupid he is. This guy is deplorable and exposed his lack of knowledge. He claimed that the war up to this point has been about the cost has been about 25 billion. I can tell you 100% that that is wrong. Okay? I'm going to give you just a few numbers, all right? So there's Tomahawk missiles. They have used about 1/3 of the arsenal that we had. Now, each Tomahawk missile costs $2.5 million. So let's say they only use 300 missiles. 300. So that's over, yeah, we're talking at least 750 million. That's almost $1 billion. All right. Then there's a few A3 E3 AWACS planes. That's another 600 million. That's a minimal estimate. KC 130 tankers. There's two of those that were gone. That's another 80 million for those, or 160 million a piece for those. F-15s 90 million. We've lost probably a couple of those. F-35, I think we lost a couple of those. They're 90 million a piece. Then there's F-18s. We've had two of them that have fallen in the ocean under the Hegseth administration. So those are 70 million a piece. And the THAAD missile systems, we've used a few of those up. Those are almost 1 billion a piece. All right. So just these figures for these systems, that's not even all. There's a lot more than that. Okay. Then there's the battleship USS Higgins the other day. It had some unexpected problems with their electronics. They were stuck, not being able to move, not being able to move around in the water. All electrical systems and radar systems were down. They weren't able to shoot any weapons or anything. They were, yeah, totally, yeah, helpless, helpless. And not only that, you had the fire in the laundry systems over there on the USS Ford. That's a U.S. aircraft carrier, one of the newest. And this system and the USS Higgins are both systems that really, really are a major plus to the military. And these guys have now got these boats back in the water. They're being able to be moved around and stuff, but they're going to have to go to port. And the sailors that are on these boats, they've been out there now for what, couple of months. They're all needing some port time. These ships need to be resupplied, and that's a lot of money, just a lot of money. And the sailors are reporting that they're getting like really some bullshit ass meals to eat. So that's how we treat our war fighters, to give them some bullshit ass food to eat. I've seen some of the pictures of what they're being fed, and I'm gonna tell you, the people in prison eat better than they're being fed right now. So there's also reports that these soldiers are having to sleep on the floor in some areas of ships, and it is not good. It is not good. That's not how we should treat our war fighters. And if Donald Trump goes ahead and sends troops into Iran, that is going to be more and more deaths, more and more coffins coming home. And apparently, for Donald Trump, that's something to raise campaign money on, because he used pictures from these ceremonies last time to try to raise money for his campaign. So, this is really despicable to see how Pete Hegseth and maybe Marco Rubio still wants to get Cuba, and that's just one of many things that the administration is talking about. Like I said, they're still talking about Greenland. These guys are totally incapable of understanding what it means to be a good ally, to be a democratic nation. And when you have a snowflake like Donnie T in power that gets so upset because somebody made a joke about him and wants to get the comedian fired, it's typical, typical behavior from an authoritarian wannabe. So, and that's why Donnie T is always rolling out the red carpet for Putin, and he doesn't want to say anything bad about him, because Donnie T was blowing Bubba, and Putin has the pictures. And not only that, he's got some other pictures too. He has the deeds, he has the receipts on Trump. And as for receipts, I was watching some stuff on Midas Touch earlier today. They they really put the receipts out there from the old days, from when Donald Trump was doing his little pageants, how he used to go walking in the room and how the girls would be half naked. And he said, "Oh, I could do that because I'm the owner." And how he talked about how he could just grab girls by the pussy and this and that. Yeah. If you love Donald Trump, then you ought to be probably looked at yourself. All right. As far as you guys thinking that Donald Trump's going to be around forever, let me ask you this, Mr. Imbatik. Um, what comes after Trump? What comes after Trump? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look at me. I'm old. I don't need to worry about it. I'm old. All right. So, what comes after Trump? Who do you see when Trump's gone? Because MAGA is not going to support JD. MAGA is not going to be down with having JD Vance as the presidential candidate in 2028. And so, okay, so it doesn't matter if you're making some comments, you're from some other nation, you don't know what you're talking about, and you don't care about America. So that's what I'm talking about. So, in regards to the Republican Party, and I am a member of the Republican Party, I will not vote for MAGA. I will not vote for anybody who's been sucking Donnie T's teats, and therefore the Republicans need to take a loss. But what the Republicans are doing right now is they're going to vote Mike Johnson out of the speakership. And when that happens, and there's one or two more resignations in the Republican Party, then that means the Democrats are going to go ahead and take over. That means Donald Trump will be a lame duck president, will not be able to get anything through, will be investigated, will be impeached. And as I'm talking to you right now, Marjorie Taylor Greene has already said he needs to go. He needs to go. And she was doing everything for him back then. All of the people who were backing him before are all saying he needs to go. Candace Owens, uh, um, who else? Plenty of others are talking about this guy needs to go. Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, they're all saying he needs to go. Joe Rogan even says also he needs to go. But Joe Rogan has sold his soul to the devil, thinking he's going to uh, get something in regards for that he wants. But I think that might have been a bad move on his part because they might be trying to use Joe Rogan. So whatever, what's going to happen in America remains to be seen. But the point is that the Republican Party needs to take another look at themselves. They need to purge themselves of the MAGA faithful, the MAGA cult, and they need to take another look at how they're going to go forward because the party, the party can stay together, but they need to purge themselves. And everybody who was a part of the part and parcel to sucking up to Donald Trump, let me tell you, when you're buried somewhere later on and people go walking by your grave, they will be spitting on your grave. They will be peeing on your grave. I guarantee you. Because the amount of damage that this president and this government has done to the democracy in America is despicable. Is despicable. All around the world, people are laughing at Americans right now. And it's a shame. It is a shame because America used to be the nation that other nations looked up to. And now we are the butt of almost every joke every day. Every day. So, as I said before, I'm over here in Rostock, Germany, and I do this for my family, for my friends. Nobody's giving me any money. Nobody's supporting me. I don't have any ads. I don't have a badass system or any kind of stuff like that. But I'm going to do it for a while because I got to put that information out there. I look forward to the day when I can go back to America without having to worry about getting arrested or having my phone gone through just because to see if they can find any comments that I made about Donald Trump or whatever. I look forward to the day that he is out, and I look forward to the day when Melania Trump can go ahead and go back to Slovenia or wherever she came from, and she could take Paolo Zampoli with him. All right. The people that are ignoring the Epstein survivors are the people who need to go to because if you are ignoring the Epstein survivors, then you are probably just as much uh, part and parcel to the type of people that Donald Trump used to hang out with, aka Jeffrey Epstein. But nevertheless, You do you. All right. I'm Matt Fox. This was Totally Out of Control News. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Give me a like. I appreciate you watching, and I'll get back with you tomorrow. Thanks again.